everyone, I'm April Plank, and today I'm going to be taking you through a 10-minute plank challenge. So thank you to one of my newest members for wanting me to do this challenge. If you're not a member yet and you would like to be, just look in the description and there'll be a link there. So before we actually get into the planks, I think with planks, a lot of the issues that people have are with the wrist, and with the wrist, it's all about shoulder alignment. So I am going to lecture for a second about shoulder alignment because I think it's going to help us. It will not cut into our 10-minute plank. We'll still get 10 minutes, but I just want to make sure we're all lined up before we go into that. So with your shoulders in plank, so if you bring your arms out in front of you and just take a minute here to notice where your elbows are. Now, if your elbows are rotated in, so like the eyes of the elbows point out, just notice what that does to your shoulders. What that's going to do to your shoulders is kind of draw the shoulders up, and that's going to make the shoulders more into the neck, and it's going to make it a little bit more into your traps and the upper back, which is where we don't want it to be. But if you kind of roll your shoulders away from each other and kind of roll the eyes of the elbows down, you're going to be incorporating more of your lats. And it's kind of like this little hug right here. So if you notice, this is open and this is hugging down. So it's almost like you're doing this little squeeze of your armpits. So think of that squeeze and hug right here underneath your armpits to get into the proper position. And I think that little moment, that little movement is going to help a lot when we get into our planks. So in this 10-minute plank challenge, we're going to be doing 4 different planks: front plank, side plank, back plank, and other side plank, and we're going to be doing 3 sets of it. So let's get started. So I want you to come onto your hands and knees. Now I know not everyone will feel comfortable on their hands, so if you want to do all these planks on your elbows, you for sure can do so. I might recommend propping yourself up on a box if you've got a Pilates box. Just for some of the planks, it's easier to do on your elbows. So we're going to start again with the hands right in line with the shoulders, and then your knees in line with your hips. Now take a second to kind of rotate the eyes of the elbows back so that you're activating those lats and kind of kicking on the middle back, and that's where your power is going to come from, and that's how we're going to hold this plank. So I'm going to push the start button, and we're going to take it to 1 minute. So take one foot back, take the other foot back, and find your plank. Now with your plank, I want you to energize the entire body. So you're pushing back through the heels, you're pulling your abdominals in, doing a little tuck of your tailbone. So it's all about lengthening your low back to support your back and keep your spine in a nice position. Most of the times when people have a problem with the plank, it might be that they're rounding their back, but if you can do a little bit of a tuck and scoop, pulling those abs in, you're going to feel a little bit better in the back. Now reach to the crown of the head, so you have a straight line of energy from the crown of the head all the way through those heels. Again, keep engaging through the armpits, rolling the eyes of the elbows back and activating your lats. Keep pulling those abs in, tucking your tailbone underneath you, and we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the knees down. We'll go into our second plank, side plank. So this time with the side plank, you're going to have your left wrist in line with your left shoulder. We're going to turn all the way to the side. So our left hand's on the floor, our right leg's in front of the left. We're going to start our time. So in that side plank, you've got to make sure you have a straight line from the wrist all the way to the shoulder, to the other shoulder, and then the right arm can come up to the ceiling to complete that straight line. Again, if this is too wrist heavy, make sure that you're on your elbow. So we're engaged through the abdominals. I'm kind of lifting up and pulling my abs in. I'm really active through my legs. A lot of plank is also about how much activity you can put through the whole body. So I'm not trying to bear down in my left wrist. I'm trying to reach up and engage, almost like someone's pulling my fingers to the ceiling, and I'm really activating and engaging through those fingers. Good. I'm still kind of doing the same thing with my eyes and my eyes and my elbows rolling back and thinking of activating that lat. That's going to help kick on those large muscles in the back to help us. We have 10. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. We'll do the other side. I'm going to face away from you because I want you to be able to see what's happening in my back. So again, my right wrist is in line with my right shoulder. I'm going to turn to the side. My left foot is in front of my right foot. And I'm going to reach a straight line of energy from my left fingers to my right fingers. So if I'm rotated with my elbow forward, it doesn't really give me too much power, but if I rotate my elbow back and try to really kick in through that lat to hold me, it's going to help me engage. And if I think of lifting my hips so that I'm trying to push weight out of my wrist, put a little bit more weight into my feet, so not bearing down on that wrist. I want to try to stay lifted and engaged. Again, someone's pulling those left fingers up to the ceiling, and you're holding it, and we're going to hold it. We've got about 15 seconds. Here, keep pulling those abs in, keep lifting the hips up. Certainly, if you need to take a break, the option would be to drop the right knee down towards the mat, and that will be a nice little rest. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Now the last plank we're going to do is a front plank. And this is definitely a plank, and it's, in my mind, one of the harder planks. So you're going to have your hands behind you, fingers facing you. Now again, you want to lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. For some of us, the fingers don't face this way. You can rotate the fingers out. That is totally fine. So I'm going to start with just tabletop. Lift the hips up. Try to lift up and out of the shoulders, lifting the chest. You can look down towards your belly, or you can look back if that feels comfortable on the neck. I prefer to look down to my belly and just keep my neck kind of lifted. Now I'm going to really lift, and I'm going to still use my lats. I'm going to draw my shoulders back and down. And then if I want it more challenging, I'm going to straighten my legs out, and I'm going to hold. Now for this one, if it gets to be too challenging, you can bend the knees again, come back into that table. You can try to push more weight into your feet and out of your wrist. Try to keep lifting. I like to visualize that there is a swing underneath my hips, and it's pulling me up to the ceiling, and I'm nice and light. There's a string at my sternum, and it's pulling me up to the ceiling, and I'm nice and light. And we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. All right, we've made it through one set. We've got 2 sets to go. So let's go back to our regular plank. We're going to start adding some things here. A minute goes really fast though. So our wrists are in line with our shoulders. You're rolling those elbows back to activate your lats. And when you're ready, step 1 foot back, other foot back. Tuck that tailbone, push back through your heels, pull your abs in, lift your sternum, reach from the crown of the head. Now we're going to lift the right leg up and then back down. Left leg up and back down. Using your breath. Again, if you need to drop to the knees at any point, you can. Definitely an option. 30 seconds to go. We're going to change the movement to the arms. So take the right hand and tap the left shoulder and back. Left hand tap the right shoulder and back. I kind of put my feet a little too close. I'm going to bring them a little farther apart to give myself a little more support. So I'm just shifting the weight from side to side. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Come down. Side plank number 2. So let's start with our left wrist in line with your left shoulder. You're going to turn towards that right and come up into your side plank. Find your form first. Draw your shoulders back. Lift your sternum. Reach the arm forward to the ceiling. So straight line from the left wrist to the right wrist. If you're looking for more challenge, we're going to take the right leg, lift it up, and bring it back down. Lift it up and back down. If that puts too much pressure on the wrist, keep the leg down. Again, you can lift those hips and try to drive the weight out of your wrist. Good. Last 30 seconds, we're going to keep the foot down in front, and we're going to thread the needle. The right arm's going to go underneath. I lift the hips, and then I come back up. Thread the needle underneath, and back up. Nice work. Give me one more thread. That'll be our minute. Last thread the needle. Come up and bring that hand down. Okay, I'm going to turn away from you again so you can see what's happening in the back. So my right wrist is in line with my shoulder. I'm going to turn to the left, stack my left foot in front of my right, reach the left arm to the ceiling. Think of lifting up and out of your wrist. So nice and light, fingers to the ceiling. And if you want more challenge, the left leg's going to lift up and back down. So you're kind of stacking that left foot right on top of the right. Good. Think of that swing still on this side plank underneath your rib cage, and it's lifting you up. So you're nice and light. Do one more. Set the left foot down in front of the right. We're going to thread the needle. Left arm comes through, and then bring it back up. Thread the needle and bring it back. Nice job. 2 more, and that'll be our minute. And last one. Really good job. Let's take that hand down, and we'll go into our front plank. So this is our last plank, and then we've got one more set to do. But you probably are doing the math, and it's going to be 30 seconds for the last set, so that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and make sure that our elbows are pointing back. Our fingers can be forward or out to the side. You're going to lift into that nice table. Now remember that swing, it's holding you up so your belly's lifting to the ceiling. If you want more challenge, the legs go straight. For me, it's definitely a lot harder to do the straight leg. And now if you want more challenge, right leg lifts up and down. Left leg up and down. And if it doesn't feel good on your feet, I have seen where you can turn the toes out and do an external rotation. And that might feel better on your heels. Good. Now I'm probably losing my hips a little bit. I'm trying to lift them high. The goal is to keep those hips lifted. But this is not an easy thing to do. Keep your breath going. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. If you're kicking one more to the left to finish, and then come all the way down. Really great job. Okay, last time through to finish our 10 minutes, which means we're doing 30 seconds of each. 30, 30, 30, 30, that'll be 2 minutes. 8 plus 2 is 10, and that'll be 10. So here we go. So your wrists are on your shoulders or in alignment. Rotate your eyes or the elbows back, and then we'll go into that plank. 30 seconds is going to feel nice and easy. Push those heels back, tuck your tail under, lift your sternum. If you want more challenge, right leg lifts up, and we're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. Set it down, left leg lifts up, hold it for 3, 2, 1. Set it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Side plank, left arm is going to be in line with your wrist, in line with your shoulder. Right foot in front of your left. Reach that right arm to the ceiling, lift those hips high. You can draw your shoulders back and down. If you want that extra challenge, stack your right foot on top, lift it up and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, set it down. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, you made it. Bring the hand down, take a little rest. We've got one more side, and then we'll do our front plank. So right wrist in line with the right shoulder. Turn to your left, left foot in front of the right, roll your shoulders back, reach the left arm to the ceiling, lift those hips nice and high. Think of lifting up nice and light. For more challenge, left foot goes on top of the right, and we're going to lift that leg up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. And let's do our very last plank. Man, 10 minutes went fast, right? I think so. So we'll do our front plank. So you can do tabletop if you'd like, or the straight leg. So let's have our hands behind us, lift those hips. Again, based on your shoulder flexibility, your wrists are either fingers pointing forward or fingers pointing out to the side. Lift that chest up, roll the shoulders back. Think about that sling underneath you, holding the hips high. Option 2, the legs are going to go straight. You're going to lift, try to big toes together and all the way to the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release all the way down, and you have made it. Nice work. Just give those wrists a little shake. So remember, if this was too much work on the wrist, then you can do all of that on the elbows. You can do a little bit of kind of wrist movements here to give everything a little stretch. But that's a great way to kind of build up your strength in doing your planks. And I'm definitely feeling it and a little bit out of breath. So hope you guys enjoyed that and got a nice little workout. And I hope to see you soon. Have a great day.